All right, let's see. Uh, I think I got everything. I think I have everything set up. All right, so. All right, so let's see here. Hey, fallen hero. Welcome. All right, I'm about to get in the call real soon with the others. So let's just see how we turn things around for this one. Cause I'm gonna say this right now. I have an important announcement to make by the end of this. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And if you miss it, I'll announce it on Twitter and on the Discord too. So you're not gonna miss it. So let's get to the others.
Discuss the episode and whatnot. Like
All right.
you guys talk and I'll leave my thoughts in the end. Hey, goggles.
Hey, bro.
All right.
Hello?
All right. Hey guys, we're live. Do you think Ash might catch Piplup? Is there?
You reading the comments?
I'm reading the comments. ADNB asked, "Do you think Ash might catch Piplup?" Which was there a Piplup in the preview?
He's not gonna catch it. If anything, Dawn is gonna return.
Okay, I'm confused. Wait, I'm confused right now.
We see a weasel, but it's not Ashes.
Yeah.
We see a Swampert, but it's not Brock's. Or anyone's for that matter.
You see, Vaporeon is not Lana's. Actually, when we first got this trailer, that's what I thought was gonna happen. I thought Lana's Eve was gonna evolve. like this, it seemed like the fun filler. It seemed like a fun Alola episode it could have been. Like some type
Yeah. I like on how people actually fell for the idea because they are in the swim tracks. And everyone says, "Oh, it's Ultra Guardians," and some people actually fall for that.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
This could have been enough. There's a lot of things. Like, oh, Lana came back with Vaporeon, the Ultra Guardians are here.
Honestly, like I feel like the idea of Lana is visiting Kanto. Like she goes to Vermilion because she needs to go to Cerulean to see Misty for something or whatever. Like I feel that it would make more sense than oh, a friend of Kikuna has a like Kikuna has friends. Excuse me.
Exactly.
Like, what do you mean Kikuna has friends?
I meant in the future. I meant in the future in Journeys. I don't know. We still need to focus on the fish man, which thank God he's coming next week. But all right.
Yeah, no more captures for Ash for a while.
Mr. Fish. So what do you so here's the thing. So we are going to have Dracovish, right? And when will Dracovish return after this one?
Hey, I was close with this one. I said 70.
Yeah, you said 70. It's 63, so
So my next prediction is I say
13 more, 76.
okay. I'm gonna actually give them a little bit of hope. I'm gonna say it's gonna appear in the Iris episode, but being realistic, let's see.
I'll give it till mid 80s.
Like 79, yeah, 79, 80.
It's like if it shows up for Iris, great. If it shows up for Gary, awesome. If it shows up at all,
But
man.
It shows up. This is just his last appearance.
And never saw the fish again.
Before
This
we
release
get
episode,
things,
it loves me. It loves being in that park so much that Ash released it.
before we get
Gary gets Dracovish.
before we get started, I need to make sure how's the audio sounding right now for the chat.
The audio is great. There's no.
Fallen Hero says in 90. He's thinking that Dracovish will appear in the 90s.
Oh, 90s, dang.
Damn, like like, hey, it's Dracovish, not Gengar. Take it
Hey
easy,
there,
man.
hey there, Tyree Random,
Actually,
Randall.
hold
Like,
on. Uh, we technically still haven't seen a battle yet. So I mean, that '90s prediction might be right. So for his first battle.
but
Speaking of
So,
battles, apparently Koharu is going to battle, or at least command Eevee to do something in the next episode.
why does Eevee look the most ready to fight out of all the Pokemon? Did you see that screenshot, bro?
Yeah, like Eevee, like it's not bouncy bubble, but she will copy a water move. Which one we'll have to see.
speaking about water bubbles, I think it's time for us transition to the actual episode. So obviously you guys
Let's
heard
go.
it's Tramer one's with me and Cole Blitz too.
Oh,
Say hello.
but out.
Hello,
Yo,
And
hello, people of the interwebs.
this is episode 62 of Pokemon Journey, the Sabo Italian mishap episode. Oh my! In this episode, I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to feel about this episode. I'm gonna be damn honest. Freaking. Given the fact that, to be fair, this is
Uh,
journeys we're talking
but
about. So
do you have mixed feelings about the episode?
yes, very mixed feelings. Trey can vouch for
Okay,
me.
so explain. Now I'm curious,
All
since here's
right,
the audience.
so okay, before I get into like the meaty gist of it all, I will point out some of the positives I did like out of the episode. Number one, Cinderace. My boy Cinderace. He was happy for his little brother evolving. I love that. I love Cinderace so much. Any episode with a Cinderace is automatic good for me. Uh, I will give credit to that scene, to the scene where Drizzile is getting beaten up by the Pokemon. I do like how we're seeing the other Pokemon how they are right now, and I do like the go flashback we got in the episode about like how he was always alone, because that I kind of actually do relate with that when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So that moment actually hit me hard at home. All right, so Drizzile evolving, or the Sabo Drizzile evolution. Uh, I'm with the majority of the group saying that it's too damn soon for this thing to evolve. This thing literally only had one
really?
episode of development. One episode.
I mean, look at Score Bunny.
Oh, Trey, the reason I let the Score Bunny go is because I'm biased on Score Bunny.
Oh wow.
And also,
Wouldn't you have wanted Score Bunny to see Score Bunny longer?
no, I would have loved that. I would love to see Score Bunny longer, but to be fair, I was viewing this at a different angle because I thought they would do something interesting with the right boot situation instead of saying, "Oh, it's just him in a teenage phase bullshit." Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's kind of dumb to me personally. That you had a good opportunity right there to teach you a lesson, but you don't want to. Okay, so now I'm with a majority of people who can agree or it would decide this as Sabo should not have evolved this right now at least because he literally only had one episode of development, and even in that episode there was still issues we had, or just I had
Yeah.
personally. So that's the downside. Another downside is, we all know this. Journeys always loves to waste their potential. You're, you're seeing this scene right here, right now, with Sabo having his invisible hand waving goodbye to Go. Yeah, yeah, made it seem like he was gonna leave for a while, when he winds up not. In fact, he's just a lazy little bastard. Great.
I
So
mean, it's in his nature. Like, he's lazy.
great. So you mean to
Yeah.
tell me, fucking, you're not gonna make this thing? What's the point of keeping this around? Because this thing isn't gonna do anything anymore until like it's mandatory. I gotta evolve into an Italian because the story demands it.
They 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 are benching Drizzile, and the way they are benching him, like, it it doesn't make sense, because like, I think the idea that, oh, let's evolve them to focus on Grookey, and then when we see that Grookey is able to evolve like when time comes. Oh, we're going to make him an intelligent. So like again, they are benching Drizzile and giving this, oh, like, and it's counterintuitive because he should know what the Drizzile is. Like, oh, he will not, like, because in the episode when we see Inteleon, Renji shows in the monitor that Drizzile is the middle
Yeah,
evolution. Like,
Drizzile.
I don't like to believe that Sobol was just focused on Inteleon because it just makes Sobol like, a kid at a candy store. He's just focused on one simple thing, and like he should know that Drizzile, like, again, this is a new director, and the Inteleon episode was the one directed by the old guy. So like
Oh,
it
true.
it, it feels like the new director is ignoring what the old one did, and this is an issue that Dragon Ball Super had.
I don't want to talk
And
about Super.
exactly, like this is the Dragon Ball Super of Pokemon. Like the directors don't enter in contact with each other. And
Oh
you know
yeah,
what?
this
And you know
that's the
what?
same
If
issue.
and the thing, if you think about it, that scene when Renji is explaining that Inteleon is the final evolution, who's to say that the person who animated the monitor didn't do it in the last minute before the episode aired? And when they were doing this, they were thinking that that scene that aired was basically cut, which it wasn't. So it's the issue of the staff not talking with each other. Because
Yeah.
and then we have that scene, that stupid scene when Ash is saying, "If my Pokemon were sad or unhappy, I would try to cheer them on and cheer them up." I mean, excuse
Oh
me, I
yeah,
remember the jealousy
Gengar.
episode. I remember Gengar. I
Gen-
remember. I know that Chloe realized that Gengar is being shafted. Don't bullshit on us, Ash. Come on, man.
yeah, yeah, that
So again, this all I told you
that
guys. I told you guys
something
that.
bad.
I told you guys that. Just because we have a new director that things would not change for the better right on day one. We need time, but yeah, this is a problem of not. This is always a problem of the writing staff, not the show, because they are not talking with each other. Sadly, they are not talking with each other.
Yeah, like that's the same thing about remember Rinto's character from the Surf H episode. People were saying
Yeah,
like it was directed by the Wingstrom episode and the Girder episode was the same director, but the Surf H one was I think someone different if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, yeah,
Or
because
the writer, right?
yeah, because
Like
the
with the
director
writer.
changed. The new director took the helm of the show with the Ponyta. So the old one wrote, directed the Girder, but the Wigstrom and Rinto was the new one.
Yeah, and Rinto's
So
character. It was a weird, some weird things with Rinto's character. So yeah,
yeah, they shafted, like, his demeanor, like, oh, he wanted to help, and then the trip side of himself decided to show up on that battle, which I don't like it.
I
But
feel
yeah,
you. Yeah.
but like
Um.
because this
Okay.
like the episode on a surface level, it's not bad. Again, it's like what KG is always saying: the episodes by themselves are great, but when you puzzle them into a series, that's the problem.
To be honest though, I would say I would have preferred for Drizzile to have gotten released for a while. Like
Ah,
this is what I
Yeah,
thought they were
I
gonna do.
agree.
I would have like because if they're gonna shaft him, at least let him. Like I hate that he's stuck in this cave. Like for him, like just like we know he's here, but he's in this cave. Like I don't know. That's just
it's
that's
it's the Suicune situation, but worse.
yeah, way worse. Because it's like y'all are okay with leaving this man in this cave by himself, and it's like, is he gonna eat? It's like it's a lot of issues.
Yeah, like,
I wouldn't.
because I like the idea. I like the idea that this episode shows how introverted people are and how
Yeah,
someone should interact around introverted people. I like the message, but the way it's executed, because they, because the thing is, I like to believe that this is because of something of mistranslation because they use the word personality, and I don't like the usage of that word. Maybe the Japanese people have a specific word for that context that we don't, and they have to translate to the one that makes the most sense. That's personality. But I don't like the word personality. I think it's more of a change of outlook in life, or a behavior or a demeanor. Because Scorbunny was rebelling before he evolved, and Sobel, when he was a Drizzile, he was happy until he realized that he was a Drizzile. So just because the Pokemon evolve, it doesn't mean that their personalities change, and it doesn't mean that they are new characters just because they evolve. Like it's like what Brock said in the original series: a Metapod becomes a Butterfree, but the heart that beats inside is the same, right? So the idea of evolution in this show, it seems, at least to some Pokemon, specifically for Ghosts,
Alright,
it seems like a
let's
narrative
just go down the street.
it seems like a narrative excuse for them to try to do something different, but they always do it on the worst side. That, oh, let's change their characters completely with evolution. And it's stupid because it's only for ghost Pokemon. I mean, Dragonair and Dragonite were always, cuddly dragons. Greedent never changed. So why do ghost starters have to go to this shift to I don't need the Pokemon should not have this character change just for the sake of their trainer. I mean, I like Go as a character and as a trainer, and the Pokemon having this shift to amplify his character. On the surface level, it's great, but in execution, it feels forced. I should not be invested or worry about them just because they make these unnecessary circumstances happen. Because Drizzile was happy until he realized, oh shit, I'm not an Italian. I'm going to get depressed because the plot demanded me to. I do like the fact that Cinderace basically did the knee slide, so it's like Cristiano Ronaldo. So there's that. Like an
Yeah.
actual, like he actually soccer player that.
I real quick, I wouldn't say that the plot demand. Yeah, well, technically, yeah, but like, I think it's more or less like Drizzle was expecting him. Someone was expecting him to evolve into Italian because he looks up to that one Italian, and he knows he can evolve into that way. It's just that he didn't. Obviously, well, the context they assume us.
Yeah.
They assume that we forgot about that scene, but I don't know. I need to rewatch that episode to see what was saw in that moment. Because if he was
No,
just
it was in the moment after he was watching the screen, so it was like 1 second after. Sobel should know. They are dumbing down Sobel to make him forget shit, and it's like the one thing that I actually love in this episode. Like we see ghost Pokemon, but not in a forced or problematic way, like when they have the food store shortage because of Squavit. Like the Pokemon know that Drizzile is Sobel. They are happy that he evolved. They are trying to cheer him up. So it shows that Sobel still training is a caring Pokemon for those in the park and vice versa. Um, so I cannot feel as invested for Sobel because yeah, like he's friends with Goldeen and Poliwag and whatever more, and he knows where everyone lives, and we get to see the dens of other Pokemon, especially the shipping dens of the Nidoran and Pinsir and Heracross, which I do appreciate. Um, well, at least Darmanitan didn't drove the plot. I was expecting, when is Darmanitan going to do something about this, Heck, I actually told a friend of mine, I would have preferred if Darmanitan was to sit on Oddish, because Oddish is being rooted in the ground, and Darmanitan doesn't realize it, and Sobol attacking Darmanitan prevents Darmanitan from sitting on Oddish instead of just, a citrus berry falling near Oddish, right? And in a way, Darmanitan would be the one responsible for Sobol evolving, and the episode would be Sobol having basically, like, some animosity against Darmanitan or some shit like that,
honestly, I
Um,
would not mind that Darmanitan thing just because the way you was just describing it, it doesn't sound like he means to cause harm. He's just like minding his own business. He's just unfortunately what he was about to
Yeah,
do was
like
gonna
for
hurt
example,
someone.
imagine that Sobol is just hiding in the bushes, training his stealth, right? And Sobol training his stealth inspires Oddish to train his own by rooting in the grounds like like an actual radish. And because Sobol influences Oddish, like Darmanitan is just minding his own business, but he's going to sit on Oddish. But Sobol prevents that and becomes a Drizzile. So you have this
Yeah.
you have this interaction between between Drizzile, Darmanitan, and maybe Oddish to some extent, because Oddish and Darmanitan, oddly enough, they are also Pokemon linked to evolution because Darmanitan has a regional variant. And when Oddish becomes a Gloom, they can be a Vileplume or a Bellossom. So the idea that Sobol would interact with Pokemon that, in terms of biological evolution, they have choices or they have different routes of how to evolve. Um, I do appreciate Cinderace and Grookey trying to cheer him up and getting him out of the den, and the way that he does, the moisture bubbles and the balloons, right? I love that, and I actually love the message behind the episode that this is how introverts are, and this is how you should interact with people who are introverts, because we see the flashback that potentially was what made Koharu meet Go, because she was seeing him alone. So maybe, because that's the thing about being an introvert, like, you don't know it yourself, and Go, like, he doesn't have a bad childhood, but he always feels alone, even when he's amongst other people, and especially other Pokemon. And that is the thing about Drizzile, because Drizzile, he won't leave, but he just prefers, his space, his time to think. But when you are doing that to a starter Pokemon, it feels like you are shafting them. In some way, it's no different than what they did to Grottle back in DP. They evolved them to make him worse.
Hey there, not your adventure, KP. How you doing? Tyrant Raid. Let's make Cinderace forget his.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
My
Okay.
bad. My connection's been dropping.
No worries. Like, I do love the one thing about, I do like, there's this episode is very mixed bag. Like, I was, because I ranked the episode when I saw it a 10 out of 10, even without subs. When I saw
Really?
subs, like, yeah, like, I ranked this episode a 10 out of 10 because I think it's personal bias. I'll admit it. I love the message behind it. But when I saw subs, I was very, how should I say? I was very reluctant because the translation didn't felt proper. But then I start to see I saw the episode the third time, and I tried to dissect the episode in regards to by itself, by entertainment value, and by the overall story. And I like the message behind the episode. It's the way that they execute this message that for just one episode, like a one enough deal, it feels forced. Um, Next episode is a water park, so more salt to the wound, like it's a water focused episode. Where's Suicune? Where's Drizzile? Doesn't care. I like how Drizzile can now go invincible on command, but the way that he shed that one single tear, I cried during this episode. I like it, like in the moment when Go goes to that. It's not people. It's basically that building. It's a building where they did horse racing back in the day in Yokohama. I always thought it was a monastery. But the way that they go to that building, the building when he was to search for psychic readings, and it was Lugia of all Pokemon. Um, I like the fact that we see Vermilion being re-explored once again, and like you don't like you want to be alone, but you don't like it, so you find company in the stars. So you're just like me, like that hit hard. I just don't like how this is just a one and off deal, because that's the thing about journeys. They still are over relying on the episodic format. But I cannot adore this episode because I know it could have been better, but I cannot dislike it either because it's very personal and very impactful.
Alright, hold on real quick.
Um,
Hold on. Alright, do you think Drizzile evolves faster than Raboot did? I'll say no.
so here's the thing.
Hold on, let me answer.
Okay, so Score Bunny to Reboot was 12 episodes, and Reboot to Cinderace was 28. And 28 was and episode 28 to this one was 36. Yes, so 36. So 36. So 38. This is uh the evolution from Drizzile to Inteleon will only be faster than Reboot to Cinderace if we have an Inteleon before episode 100. So before the end of the year.
Okay, now let me answer. Alright. Yes, in terms of like in terms of like how the episode format, and they're both kind of equal because they only got like one episode before they evolved. So like they're pretty much even. Cause I'm viewing this for like the episodes and like the interaction, the amount of screen time they got. Both of them only got one episode, and a few screenshots here and there. So they're even. I'll say they're even, Bright Pirates. But quick question to everybody here. So Coral, I think I don't know if you already answered this question, but how do we felt about the Go backstory?
It feels too real, but I like the backstory. It doesn't ruin anything. In fact, it just enhances Ghost's character because I posted something that a friend of mine told me the other day, that the way that Go told Ash about the Ivysaur, like, you shouldn't help someone just because they are defenseless or you feel sorry for them because they will not be able to grow on their own. The way that Go told that to Ash, it feels now more that Go was projecting. He was projecting his own insecurities. Like, don't help someone just because you feel sorry or pity, because if you do, they won't grow by themselves. That's like, Go was not talking about just the Ivysaur there. He was talking about himself. Which I do appreciate, but, like, again, kids can be introvert, kids can be shy, and I actually like that they tackle upon that. But Go missing Sobble's evolution, now I have to worry because will he miss Inteleon, Drizzile to Inteleon? Because Inteleon cannot fit in that den. Will Drizzile evolve and get stuck and they have to call the Andy Man to get him out of there? Like, what the hell?
That's gonna be more continuing than Journeys gave us. If that's the case, then I gotta
What do you?
You're saying to bring back the handyman from a filler episode to help to get the Italian out.
Will Grook evolve? Of course it will, because they want for Go to have all of the 3 starters fully evolved, and that's stupid because it will diminish Cinderace. Like, because here's the thing. I told you guys this many times. The one thing that Drizzile fits Go, because Sobble fits more of Inteleon's sniper motif, like we see him training. It fits more the sniper motif than the actual Inteleon, like Drizzile, because Drizzile just creates water balloons and pops them.
Yeah, I like the water. I call them the water bombs.
It's a cool technique. Don't get me
No,
wrong.
I'm just saying I like it. I'm not saying I'm not saying I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying I like it. I like
no. But I like that technique as well because it's a go technique if you think about it. Like, creating balls to toss them and being traps. Like the thing that Drizzile does with the bubble balloons. It's what Go does, to toss Pokeballs.
I like this.
However, I don't like that Go has a Pokemon just because that Pokemon shares a gimmick with his character. If they wanted for, if they wanted to have a Drizzile, because we see that Cinderace kicks Pokeballs and Grookey with the wooden bat baseballs the Pokeballs. It's the buddy system of Pokemon.
Bridge, where are you
It's
at?
it's the buddy system of Pokemon Go, and Drizzile, like Drizzile, because with the bubbles it tosses bubbles like Go tosses Pokeballs. I like that parallel, but when you evolve one of Go's Pokemon to bench them, and the only possible excuse that you can have for him to become an Inteleon before it becomes an Inteleon, it's just a gimmick. I would have preferred if Drizzile tossing bubbles was a technique by another catcher. So maybe Drizzile should have been a Pokemon that was of a Go rival, right? But they don't want to give a rival to Go because they don't know, they are stupid in regards to how should we write a rival to Go. Very simple.
I mean, okay, hold on. How you gonna make a rival for like a character whose whole gimmick is want to catch them all?
I mean, it doesn't need to be a race. It just needs to be ideology. You want a great example? Leaf, the girl from Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and the one that you battle in Cerulean Cave, like the female character of Fire Red and Leaf Green. Like, she has a Blastoise. A Blastoise is a perfect counter for Cinderace. And she wants to capture Mewtwo, a Pokemon that Go already met. So you just have to write something down that will rival Go ideology and Leaf's ideology. Because Go captures Pokemon for friendship, Leaf captures them in means for tools to get Mewtwo. So, but then again, this is Journeys. They don't have the brain power to actually write this shit. But the character of, like, if they actually canonized the character of Leaf in the anime and they made them the Paul for Go, and she would have, a Drizzile and maybe a Rillaboom, and the Score Bunny. So in some way she would have the Galar starters, and maybe they are shiny or whatever. I don't know.
All right, hold
and
on. Have the rival win.
They don't know how to write. They don't. The OLM, since the ending of DP, Team Kato fucked it up the Sinnoh finale with Torterra, with Zoe winning, with Tobias. They don't know how to write the show for 11 years. There is one person out there that knows how to write, and that person is Iwane, the animator. I have no doubts that the animator is the one that is the only one good writer in that entire staff. Because Juno he worked for Yokai Watch and other stuff. He's the one controlling the shit. But he still has to work around the other stuff that the old director did, so he cannot just recreate the show from the start. He has to basically out-puzzle, the bad things so that good can come. But when your first episode directing the series is the bamboozle of Ponyta, I told you guys, just because we have a new director doesn't mean that things are going to get great from the start, because think about it. We got the new opening in January. 4 months later, are we going to get Iris? Gary, maybe June or July. So the road trip arc, and we don't know how long that will take. Maybe it will take in the end of the summer, like the summer camps were. And because of that, like, where are the DL fucking Cs? So are you telling me that we have an opening, and after 4 months of the opening, do we start to see the changes? Because the opening never updates visually, which means that until the end of the road trip, which would most likely be until fucking September or some shit, we will see Sobble in the opening from now until fall. Even though Go doesn't have a Sobble anymore. I don't. Okay, here's the thing. I cannot rank this episode. This episode is unrankable for me. Samurai, you cannot have a rival that has a different goal than you, because what's the point of rivaling if you don't have the same goal? Like Go cannot rival Tokyo because their goals are different.
Yeah, I was gonna bring
Even
that.
though Leaf wants to get Mewtwo in the games, Mewtwo and Mew they have it they because one wants to capture Mew and one wants to capture Mewtwo. It links to the ideology of movie one, nature against machine. So it's not a rivalry for a goal, but for an ideology of why you should capture Pokemon. There will be a road trip, right, Pirate? You just have to wait. They would not focus the Charizard too much in the opening if it wasn't going to be predominant. Sadly, we are just going to have that only on the summer. So we have to wait half a year since the opening began to actually have the stuff that the opening promised.
Oh, and speaking of which, I actually listened to the full opening of the third version opening. It's actually pretty good. I actually like it.
Yeah.
That's just something I want to bring up because I took a listen to that. But all right. In terms of me personally, one I want to go back real quick about the Go backstory scene, because I actually do relate to that moment about Go about not having friends, because that's similar to me back in elementary school. Because when I was a kid,
Yeah.
hey
Hello?
Trey,
Yeah, I can hear it. Right.
Y'all can hear me before I guess. I've been saying stuff, but we good now?
I think we're
Yeah.
good.
Here's what I was saying about the road trip stuff. I don't think the road trip arc is gonna happen. Here's mostly why. So you saying, Kiro, that we're probably gonna have this opening for like until like September, end of September. But if you actually look at it, they are showing the stuff from the opening in order. So they show Wingstrom, they're
Yeah.
showing Iris now. And I feel like after Gary appears, that's when the opening is going to change. I feel like the road trip is just to show off. For one, some stuff, visual stuff for the like Darkest Day, because they show the Yamax, the G-Max Yamax, the G-Max Wooloo. Like it's to show off the Galar stuff, because this in those road trip scenes that's like inaccurate, if you get what I mean. Like
Yeah.
there's this Farfetch, Sobble, like it's just too much for them. I don't think it's gonna happen. It's kind of like that one scene of them focusing on Ash going into the Galar Stadium in the last opening, but that led to nothing. Like unfortunately,
Yeah.
like openings do that, so I really don't think we're gonna see it.
Yeah, I kind of on the same boat with Trey. I don't think we're gonna get a Galar road trip.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
I would love to.
if it happens,
That
like
would-
I'm a big fan of road trips in general. So if it happens, I'll be happy. If it
Yeah,
doesn't,
but this is Journeys. How long do you think that the road trip would last?
one episode,
Probably 2 episodes.
just one episode.
Yeah, 4 episodes.
I think
That's not
two.
2, even worse. Because like the Darkest Day being 4 episodes, and I still blame the fact that the Darkest Day happening this early, it's what, allows for Cinderace to exist this early. And therefore the others they suffer by proxy.
Yeah.
So does Lucario. Because
Oh.
I would have loved the idea of if the Darkest Day happened on the end of the second year, we would have had a whole year with Scorbunny, a whole year with Reboot, and then year 3 and potentially year 4 would be the year of Cinderace, the years of Cinderace, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So
They may
so
have 4
basically,
years.
you would have half of the second half of the show would be Cinderace instead of just being 75% of the overall show, or even more. Because the thing that helped Charizard back in the day is that Charizard had the benefit of, Ash wasn't going to capture them all. And Charizard had the Orange Islands and Johto. Even though in Johto he only helped in the Gym 1 and Gym 8 and in the league. But
Yeah.
because of that focus, the Johto team, it's the most unrecognizable of them all because there is no ace. The debate of who's the ace of Ash's team still goes on because Noctowl was the Swallow before the Swallow. Bayleaf was the one that evolved. Heracross was Heracross, but Fampi became Donphan in the Battle Frontier. He didn't, even though Fampi didn't do jack shit, and Larvitar wasn't even a member. And Cyndaquil and Totodile, they never that's the thing. Like they always it feels like we have a narrative writing regression. It feels like we are returning to the days of the original series. It feels like the writing it's again in the 90s when it comes to the Pokemon, not to the people, but to the Pokemon. Because if people go see if people see Charmander becoming a Charmeleon, they will again continue to say wrongly, he's a new character. It changed the personality. No, you just need to see between the lines. Ash used Charmander to capture Executor for another person, so in Charmander's eyes, Ash was using him to benefit another person. So for Charmander, Ash was not better than Damien. That's why upon evolution, because of the enough experience points, he rebelled. It took a while for Charmander to trust people again. And because Charmander was being used in the series, but in the I Choose You movie, he wasn't. He simply battled and trained, and that's why we don't have a disobedient arc with the I Choose You Charmeleon and then Charizard. It's because Ash never used Charmander to benefit other person. And that's the thing about, the Pokemon that are with Go, because if Go was this disliked people that the fandom like to portray him as, like I would understand why the Pokemon don't want to be around him, but he tries, he cares. They are just writing off the Pokemon just, for the sake of whatever they are trying to excuse themselves with.
Hello?
Oh, Ash capturing Grubbin in the opening of Alola. I mean, he engaged a Charger Bug, didn't caught him, but yeah.
What about Froakie versus Mega Lucario?
Yeah, Froakie versus Mega Lucario. Charizard against Reshiram, that's a classic. Infernape versus Entei. All of Ash's Pokemon being in the Battle Frontier and the old ones returning. Like, I'm not against the idea of a road trip. I'm just not hopeful that it will happen as it is being promoted. Because realistically, if you have an opening occurring in January, Iris should have been in February, Gary should have been in March, and we would have started the road trip last week. In a perfect timeline, the road trip would have lasted from last week until the end of the summer. No, until the end of spring, and in the summer, we have a summer camp arc in the Isle of Armor. Right? And then in autumn to winter, we have a Crown Tundra arc that needs to be the catalyst for the return of Moan. Yeah, because I'm fearful that the Lily and Gladion shit, it's going to be GS Bald in this show.
Honestly,
or worst, it's going to, because I hope not, because Lily and Gladion need to return, so they cannot, take a vacation break from fighting their dad. It's counterintuitive to the narrative of the story. But I would have preferred that they found their father in a special after, because we have those specials after the series end, like like we have Iris and Silent, and like Iris battling Claire, Silent meeting Brock, Silent meeting Clement and Bonnie, Dawn evolving Quilava, etc, etc, etc. Like, I would have preferred if Lily and Gladion found their father in an unnamed Winterland that soon enough would be revealed to be the Crown Tundra. I would have preferred if Lily and Gladion were to find their father in an after series special and not in Pokemon Journeys.
Honestly, I would prefer that
Be-
other than this, just because I wasn't really a big fan of them continuing on with this storyline and journey, just because that's a Sun and Moon storyline. Why do we need? Why do you need two series to conclude a storyline that you started back in last series?
yeah. And it would be even worse because here's the thing. Ash and Go should go to the Crown Tundra because of Lily and Gladion. But if Lily and Gladion inform Ash and the others that they are near to find their father in this place, that's a problem because if they find their father first and Ash goes to the Crown Tundra because they found their father and Ash somewhat from what reason wants to meet Moan, it means that Lily and Gladion found their father off screen just for Ash to have an excuse to go to the Crown Tundra. And if not, it makes Ash's presence in the Crown Tundra being the catalyst for Moan to show up and for the journey of Lily and Gladion to be pointless. So there is no winning in this situation. Having a Sun and Moon story inside of Journeys just fucks it up for both shows.
I think it's time we go ahead and rank the episode now. Well, for me and Trey, because Corey, you already said you can rank it.
I got some stuff to say about the episode.
Go ahead.
So in terms of the ending, I honestly, this is how I would have wanted everything to go down. I would have preferred for Drizzile to actually have left, like got released,
Same.
and because he knows his way, back home as we saw. But for them to leave it in a cage, like in the cave, basically a cage.
That is a
like,
cage.
Yeah, like honestly, if they were gonna do something, like at least let us wonder what Drizzile's doing. Like we know this it's inside of this cave doing nothing. Like we don't know if it's gonna be eaten. We don't know if you know, we know it's not gonna come out. So it's kind of like,
If anything,
why?
I feel like Drizzile is going through a midlife crisis at age 13.
No, because the thing is,
I'm
they
making a
say
joke.
like,
I'm making
they
a
say in the
joke. I'm
Poke-
making a joke.
No. I know that you're making a joke, but
no,
the thing that
pure
the thing that they do, like the thing that Journeys does, sadly, it's to heavily focus on the Pokedex entries. Like he's intelligent but very lazy. So okay, so he's a procrastinator, and then no, he's depressed, and I'm like, just because you get disappointed because of one simple thing, depression doesn't happen just because you get disappointed because of one simple event. No, depression is a long shit. It's a long term of events. Like you don't get the like depression can hit hard from one moment to another, but it doesn't happen right in the moment just because oh shit I didn't become an intelligent. Like depression doesn't happen because they are using evolution as an excuse for depression, like how they did for Reboot to be an excuse for Rebel and to be just like, eh. Like now, because the thing is, Grookey witnessed this change. So when Grookey evolves, because we know that he will, are they going to neglect that Grookey witnessed this shit happen and he's going into a puberty shit and like, oh, we have to dumb down Grookey because they are making Ghost starters feel like Ash in Best Wishes. Let's make them forget for the sake of convenience.
Funny you mentioned Best Wishes, Ash. Actually, just watched the clip from Best Wishes yesterday.
Sorry for the constant interruption, but this episode, man, the more I think about it, the more I dislike it. That's why I don't want to think about it.
I'll rank the episode 6.5.
Now, I had gave it a 7, but honestly, what I was gonna say was to finish off on the whole Drizzile leaving thing. I feel like the reason that they didn't, another reason let it leave is because of the episodic structure. Like, what I mean by that is they wouldn't want us like, if Drizzile was gone, we have moments in episodes where it goes like, I wonder if Drizzle's okay, or maybe he thinks about it a couple of times, but they don't want that to happen. They just want it to be like, all right, Go's going to continue on about this day like nothing has happened, basically. Which
That's kind of a bad mindset.
Yeah, it's like I understand why I understand, but it's a compromise. Like, let's not abandon him. Let's just put him in the den as an excuse for people not having to wonder where he is. Because
yeah,
like it's kind of stupid. I would have preferred if Drizzile was left, I would have preferred if they left Drizzile's location ambiguous like Suicune, because
yeah,
it's
same.
a Pokemon that can become invisible. So maybe sometimes Drizzile is in the lab, sometimes he's with Go, and even Go doesn't realize it. And
Yeah,
and maybe for example, Go's in a situation and Drizzile just shows up and like, oh, you're here, thank you, and then he just pops like, because what's the point of Drizzile as a Sobble learning U-turn? Because if this happens, like if Drizzile somehow, because there is no point of learning U-turn if this is the end result. Because
yeah,
Drizzile, if Drizzile is sent to battle without one, because I don't like to believe that they are going to have Go use Drizzile for battle, with Go knowing that Drizzile is not in the right mindset too. But they are going to force this, and they are going to make Go a prick character by using Drizzile in battle, because they are using Go as a punching bag for memes. Because Go should know that Drizzile doesn't want to battle. He wants to be around, but he needs his time. So Go forcing Drizzile to battle just for Drizzile to then use U-turn for another Pokemon to do his beating, like how Iris's Emolga did, right? With Volt Switch. I understand the joke, but I'm not watching an episode just for a character's actions to be laughed at. Because at this point, the writing of Go is no better than the writing of Iris back in the day. So again, it feels like a writing regression. Like it feels like it's 2010 all over again, and it's not. I like the character of Go, but if the whole premise of I want to capture Pokemon just for them to be benched and not abandoned, that's basically the Gengar plot, but worst. And honestly, if that's the case, I'm really happy that the Alola gang only had one or two Pokemon in their roster, because yeah, the series wasn't focused on battles, it was focused on bonds, so in less there's more. So I should not feel more invested in Malost's arena in regards to a starter Pokemon. But it was the only one that I could be invested by. I mean, at this point, the departure of Shaman feels more impactful than Suicune just going to the lab roaring and then going, because with Shaman, it felt forced that Malo had won. But we had Shaman for 30 episodes, so we had investment because we had time to actually care. How can I care for Suicune and Drizzile if they just show up to then not show up afterwards?
and Gengar, Dragonite, and
Yeah,
Dragonite.
exactly. Like, here's the thing. I am more invested in a Vikavolt that was forcibly given to Sophocles than the actual roster of Ashen Journeys.
It's pretty sad too.
Yeah. Like,
So-
I should not be invested in I should not be more invested in a Pokemon of a secondary character but the thing is, Charjabug, Bonsweet, Marowak, Poplio, even Snowy, like, they were just the ones or the twos or the threes, but but they were always there, even though they didn't do jack shit, honestly, because they were just there. But they were there, so when they did shit, I actually cared because I'm seeing them on a week-to-week basis. And when was the last time we saw Dragonite? Right?
That's
So,
a good question.
Like I think the last time we saw Dragonite, he was sparring with Lucario in episode 51. So
Man.
so yeah, like it was a Farfetch episode. The last time we saw Dragonite, it was in a Farfetch focused episode. So
And it's funny that in that episode they
eh,
acknowledge the fact
yeah,
that
so that's the thing, right? Why should I be invested in a Dragonite that the only time he relevantly shows up it's to make Ash advance into the next class? Because Ash needs to go to normal. Ash needs Ash needs to go from normal to super Dragonite. He needs to go from super to hyper Dragonite. And the thing is, if Ash loses to Gary and goes back into the super, kudos to Gary, don't get me wrong, but it makes the return of Iris meaningless. That's why I want for Iris to win. Because if Ash is to win and then to lose, it makes, like, at least with Gary, we have a better treatment than B, that's for sure. But it makes Iris the second Corina of this show.
Yeah.
So
that's going to be pretty bad.
So that's the thing. Like, why should I be bothered or invested in characters? Because I'm afraid of them returning. Because this show, whoever returns, the one episode that didn't ruin anyone because they were afraid to even tackle upon the characters was the Alola gang.
Yeah, the only one they tackled was Kiawe.
Yeah, and it was for Ghost development, not Ash's.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I guess that's because when it's other characters, it's always one returning, and with Alola, it was more than 6. So they didn't have the attention to, let's see who are we going to ruin. Oh shit, Alola has various characters. Okay, let's not ruin anyone. Like, it feels like the mindset that they have. Like, Journeys, the series that ruins the ones you love. Like, you have to worry for your favorites to return. Like, imagine that, oh, we have a Wallace Cup, and the finals are Serena against May. Kudos to those who love Serena, but do you really think that Serena should win against May?
No.
Especially, people are saying it doesn't make sense for Dawn to win against May. It does, because Dawn used Piplup, her first Pokemon, and May, because of the circumstance of the Wallace Cup, she used Glaceon, that was her last Pokemon. If May used Blaziken, I don't care if Piplup is a water type. If this was not a Wallace Cup and an actual Grand Festival, Blaziken would have kicked Piplup to smithereens. Do you really believe that Serena's Braixen is able to defeat May's Blaziken? No. Like, no Pokemon of Serena should be able to defeat May unless they... Because if it is, it should be a Pokemon that May caught, but having May using her most recent Pokemon against Serena, it just disrespects May's character to elevate Serena when she shouldn't. Like, May is doing contests before Serena's character was even conceptualized.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Man. This show...
Also, want to point out something about Dragonite. Dragonite should have appeared in this episode, in my opinion, because another reason, I get why Drizzile, the whole depressed about evolving thing, but I feel like another reason it's secluding itself is due to the fact that after evolving, it got picked on by all the Pokemon. Like, where was Dragonite when we, like, in that moment, seeing Drizzile get knocked around the lab, like, cry when he cried, like where was Dragonite? Like,
this is
my supposed to be the peacekeeper.
This is my guess, real quick. Real quick, this is my guess into that, because remember the episode during when the squirrel stole the food and had to go about to intervene with the Pokemon because they're about to fight? Dragonite stopped them because it wanted them to resolve this situation themselves. So I'm assuming Dragonite
I mean,
probably
but it should know when too far is happening.
a lot was
Like
going a
it's a
little.
difference.
There was some too far going on during that episode as well. Like a lot of Pokemon will find because of food.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I'm saying I understand the Pokemon fighting for food thing why it did it, but it should realize like Drizzile was getting knocked around too much because
Yeah.
that caused it to seclude itself in this cave.
Yeah, but Dragonite cannot exactly fit in the cave to help him, so.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's. But yeah, Drizzile soaring around the lab, like. That's then, like, when Drizzile leaves the lab, they, like. I like how they use they use the professor, they use the assistants. Koharu with Yamper using the nose to sniff Drizzile, like that what they did with Rookie. Again, that's why I love the flashback and the usage of Yamper, amazing. But Ash only searches for Drizzile with Pikachu, so
Yeah.
why isn't Dragonite soaring around the city? Why isn't Lucario aura sensing where Drizzile is? Why didn't Gengar, like, Drizzile is invisible, but he still has a shadow. Gengar should be able to shadow lock, to shadow tag himself to wherever Drizzile goes, Gengar follows because yeah, he's invisible, but he's still casting a shadow, even though we don't see it. Right?
Exactly. Like the I don't know.
They give Ash a Pokemon that can sense others' life forces. And what's Lucario? Where's that aura training?
All right, I think we better end this. I think we're about to go into our third rant.
Yeah.
Hold on, I will rank this episode 7 out of 10.
All right. Folks, if you saw what I posted on Twitter and on the Discord, you guys will know that I have a big announcement that I need to address real quick. And that is, this is going to be the last PokeChat Live for a while. Because starting today, PokeChat Live is going on a hiatus for a while. The only reason because of that is because I kind of need to take a break, kind of clear my head on like some personal things that have been going on. And also focus on my studies and like it's just personal stuff. So like, don't think anything considering like anything all the bad. So it's just like I need a break from like doing live streams like PokeChat Live. That doesn't mean I'm leaving YouTube. That doesn't mean I'm gonna leave YouTube. I'm gonna work on videos again like how I used to. And I actually have a project planned with some old friends of mine. To those of you guys who were here long ago, back in 2018, you guys might remember these two groups, these two people known as ZOIC and Skyrim. Well, I got into contact with them a while back, and they are okay. They are down to like for us to get back together and do like fun little live stream let's plays like how we did back in the day. Because I played Emerald randomized. I did a Nuzlocke on Emerald, and we had a blast doing that. So we're gonna try to bring that back. We're gonna try to bring back that charm we had with the three of us. Because I have been wanting to hang out with them for a while now, and I figured, and I'm pretty sure they want to come back here too. So that's kind of the plan. I don't know when PokeChat Live is gonna come back, but I will keep up to date on the PokeChat Live Twitter, PokeChat Discord, and on my personal Twitter. So I just want to say to anyone who supports my decision to put PokeChat Live on hiatus, I thank you very much. And I know this is out of nowhere, but this has been my mindset for like some months now. So, Trainman 1, Cole Blitz, thank you for joining in the last PokeChat Live for a while. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having us, man.
Yeah, so folks, don't worry about me. I'll be fine. PokeChat Live will come back. I just don't know when. So, keep up to date. I'll keep everyone up to date. So, with that said, everyone, thank you guys for joining us. Please support these guys' channels. Just because I'm done doing live stream, I'm pretty sure that doesn't mean they're gonna be not doing any videos themselves. I know we all got tagged in the tag challenge, which is a video I'm working on right now. So with that said, though,
Nice.
thank you guys for watching PokeChat Live, for the support you guys gave us throughout the years, and it will come back. I just don't know when though. But like I said, I'll let you all know when I decide to come back. So, with that said, have a great day, everybody.
Great
Peace.
thing.